Making Your Light. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I am Elise A. Wiggins. I'm a mental health coach. Recently, I've been called the burnout coach. And I help women and moms and caregivers overcome burnout to either return to the workforce, training, or back to some educational program. Today's video was kind of tight, right? I was like, should I talk about this or should I talk about that? But it was between two things. So I go live every Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. on YouTube and LinkedIn. And this week, Wednesday, June 14th, the topic will be you and roles, responsibilities, and relationships and how they impact your self-identity. So if that's something that you would like to, if that's a conversation you would like to engage in, please meet me on Wednesday at 11 a.m. and we will definitely talk about it. So today's video is actually titled Moms Who Can't Get It Together, right? If you feel like, you're trying your best, you're trying to do everything, but you just can't get it together, this video is for you. Before we start, I want to thank everyone who is still continuing to donate clothes for Communities Promoting Reading. Communities Promoting Reading is a not-for-profit organization I created in 2018, and it's to help adult students who are of the lower economic status, but they either want to get ESL, GED, get their college education and some type of training. Communities Promoting Reading, CPR, because literacy is critical in our community, supports these adult students so that they can go on and pursue the career to support and stabilize their family. So thank you to everyone who's still making clothing donations. If you want to make a donation, just inbox me and we could get that started. Also, thank you to everyone who participated in this past week's Freedom Friday and the Saturday Masterclass, both platforms where we as moms and caregivers come together to get over burnout. We learned so much this weekend about beliefs and how having similar backgrounds, you can actually help someone else if the two of you have similar backgrounds because you understand each other's story. Like, sometimes when I'm in a session, I'm amazed. I'm still learning, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this community. So thank you to everyone. So today's topic, one thing that I'm hearing a lot in my sessions as I'm meeting with moms and caregivers is, if I do A, then C is not working. If I do B, then H is not working. And it seems like there's this constant flow of never getting it right. And, I'm here to tell you, you may not always ever get it right. I feel like I don't get it right sometimes. But the most important thing is to look at what you are doing right, what is going well. I think one of the things that we tend to do as a society is, instead of looking at what's happening good, we want to focus on bad. I remember when I used to get like a 70 or something, or I would get like maybe an 80, and I would be so mad at the 20 to 30 points that I got wrong that I didn't take time to look at, you got more than 50% of it right. So every day we're not going to get more than 50% of it right. But as long as you are getting something right and you're doing it every day, you're making a conscious effort to do something. I want you to acknowledge that, moms. I want you to stop disregarding what is going right, right? So if you're a mom and you feel like, you can't ever get it right, number one, I want you to acknowledge what is going right. And whatever is not, if it's not in your realm of you to solve it, get the proper help that you need. It's okay to ask for help from the proper people, from the proper channels, meaning you have to divinely know who to ask for. We'll talk about that in another video. If you want to, comment below and let me know if that's something you want me to go more in detail about, because I do want to make sure I keep this video under a certain time. So yes. The next thing too is, I need you to have some grace with yourself. Having grace with yourself is allowing yourself to say, hey, I'm human and I make mistakes. I'm not always going to get this right. It's not always going to be 100%, but I'm trying. So I definitely need you to have some grace with yourself. Now, if you find lately that you probably been yelling at the children more, annoyed by the sound of their voices or their laughter, like it happens, right? Maybe this might be a time for you to take some parenting classes if you haven't already, right? Or maybe you just get some refresher skills to help you deal with what's happening at school, at work, at home, and within your social religious community, whatever it is, whatever you pursue. And it's like, wait a minute, I need a refresher. I've actually put a link below to a parenting class online. My organization is actually partnered with an educational institution who is offering classes. So if this is something that you feel that you need just to help you with, let's say, for instance, your patience or the way you communicate with your children, I definitely would suggest that you take that. Now, the next thing, if you're a mom who is, in the workforce or trying to get back in the workforce, I would strongly suggest you do some soft skills refreshing. It's a lot of time emphasis is focused on Microsoft Word, Excel, all of the hard skill stuff in order to get back into the workforce. But we don't talk about problem solving, team building, communication. Communication is not just oral, it's also written. Do you know how to write a letter? Things of that nature. So if this is something else that you are interested in doing where you feel like you need to brush up on your skills, let me know, because we're also offering that as well. Because I believe that as a mom, especially a career mom, you're not really fulfilled until every area is filled. It's like mind, body, and soul. So yes, you're taking care of your children. Yes, you're doing that. But what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing to stimulate your mind? What's keeping you going? Because you got to understand that you don't stop learning just because, let's say for instance, you're not in school anymore. Maybe you're not in school, or you're not doing something, so it's like, oh, I don't have to know. You always have to make sure that your brain is sharp. As a matter of fact, I talk about this in my book, A Farewell to Welfare. Strategy number 6 is your mind is your business. What does that mean? We always hear the expression, mind your business. What if your mind is what you were supposed to be paying attention to? What if your mind is your business? So I like to think that my mind is my business because I think for a living, I write for a living, I help people. And because of that, we all think for a living, technically, right? And because of that, I have to make sure that my mind is sharp and my mind is on point. So every now and again, I'll read some books. I'll probably watch a YouTube video, how to, but I'm always learning new things. I'm always keeping my mind on, what's that? What does that mean? I didn't understand that. Can you elaborate? And that's something that you should do. I know a lot of people may be experiencing anxiety, depression, fear, worry, doubt. We talked about this last week when we talked about being a mom and being traumatized. Like, how has that been for you? And if this has happened to you, I want to say I am truly sorry that you've been hurt the way you have. And I pray that you'll be able to grow through the situation where you will be able to look at it one day and you would say, it was good for me that I was afflicted, for if not, I would not have known the glory. Because I look at my afflictions now and my trauma and I think, wow, in a way they have made me better. At the time, I couldn't see it. It felt terrible. But now looking back, it makes me want to study more. It makes me more of an empathetic counselor. It makes me more understanding as a coach of why when I give a client an assignment and they don't meet it, I'm not so hard on them like, well, you don't want to work for me and you don't really want this. I have a more humanistic approach in just about everything that I do. And if it not had been for the traumatic situations that I endured, I don't think that would have happened. So going back, moms, caregivers, if you feel that you just can't get it together, I would definitely say, number one, identify what is going right. Pay attention more to what is going right as opposed to what's not going right. Number two, have grace with yourself. You're only humans, only but so many things you can do. And what you don't get right today, when you wake up tomorrow, put that at the top of the list to get it right then. Number three, if you need to take parenting classes, I have put a link below so you could just get some refresher skills, communication, patience, just different things to make you have a better relationship with your children and overall to make you a better human being. And then lastly, I'm suggesting that you take some soft skills course, team building, creative problem solving, communications, things like that. So not to just help you in your workplace, but to help you have better relationships with other human beings. So if you need more of this, again, we are on every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is below. It's a masterclass to help moms overcome burnout. And like I said, if you're not in the right space with yourself, please don't come on, because on here we have women who are vulnerable, women who are sensitive, and they are sharing their experiences with the hopes of that they come full and they leave empty. We don't want anybody feeling afflicted, afraid, intimidated. That's not the case here. We don't want to challenge anyone. We don't want anyone to feel like they're being judged, but they're being supported through their sensitive time, right? That's what you really, we don't just say safe space. We mean safe space, right? I protect the community. So if you are interested and you need some one-on-one coaching, you want to work with me for a short period of time, I would suggest you sign up for my monthly subscription. You know, not only get individual sessions, you get group sessions, you get access to live in-person events, a copy of a Farewell to Welfare ebook. You get to join an in-person and virtual book club, and there's so much more. We're adding courses. We're partnering, like I said, with educational institutions. So if in the future you want some certification, there's a possibility by being a part of this community, Reawaken Your Light, we will support you in getting those. So this is Elise A. Wiggins, and moms, please, you don't have to have it all together. You will be fine inch by inch every day. I love you. God loves you. But what I want you to know is don't wait for a leader, moms. Become one.